Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel. It goes down in front of 90,000 people in the UK, London, Wembley Arena. I'm looking forward to it. Joshua versus Klitschko. And this is a great heavyweight fight. I just read an article on Sky Sports, link in the description. Make sure you guys check out the full write-up. But they did an interview with Dr. Steelhammer, Vladimir Klitschko, ahead of this fight. And he said some funny things. He says, Anthony Joshua has a lot of energy. He's young, he wants to be explosive. He has these big muscles that bring him confidence, and he just wants to demolish people right in front of him. That's what it is. It gives him a lot of confidence. But did you hear about boxing being a sweet science? Every person who have got these big muscles, it gives you confidence, and you really can smash if you hit the heavy bag or the person in front of you. Boxing is sweet science. The vicious boxers were conquered, right? I have a lot of respect for Anthony and what he is doing, his commitment, his physical ability. He could box, he could lift weights, he could be strong, he can train. He could be a CrossFit champion, actually. A CrossFit world champion. I think he has great capability of it. CrossFit became really popular, and there are a lot of boxers doing it, but CrossFit is not boxing. He also goes on to say he doesn't want like a Mayweather versus Canelo situation where after he beats him, he doesn't want to hear like, oh, he was green, it was too early for him, right? And he said he's looking forward to a great event, and basically Anthony Joshua, he has muscles that make him feel confident and give him self-belief, I guess you could say. So again, the link is in the description. Shout out to Sky Sports, and I'm looking forward to this fight, man. I'm really ecstatic with 2017 so far. A lot of 50-50 fights on paper. To me, Joshua Klitschko is that. A lot of people picking Joshua by knockout. I haven't made my 7 reasons pick. I'm leaning towards Joshua, but when I really pick, I really break these fights down in my head. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I even write it down, and I'm not counting Klitschko out. I think there's a lot of factors you have to consider. Klitschko has far more pro level experience. Even though Joshua is an Olympic gold medalist, Klitschko has way more pro level experience. I mean, he was dominating guys for almost a decade, right? So he's a long-standing champion, had most of the belts till he lost to Tyson Fury. Speaking of that loss, I think that loss should have motivated him because that was his poorest performance probably in that decade, where, you know what I mean, barring his knockout losses, he just didn't look good. He didn't look like he was adapting, making adjustments, and I'm sure he's disappointed. So after a long layoff, he's looking to redeem himself against this muscle-bound, young, hungry lion in Anthony Joshua. And he probably feels like, I've sparred this dude. I know what he brings. I've seen him. I've studied him. I could beat this kid, and don't make no excuses. And he feels that Joshua, he likes the look, and that gives him confidence, having muscles. But my thoughts on it, I mean, it's weird that Klitschko said that just because, I mean, they both have a similar build to me. Now, I would say Joshua's probably more vascular, but they both have a muscular shape to me. So to me, I think it's a little bit more of a psychological warfare and mind game. Like put something in Joshua's head. A lot of fighters do this, where they'll put something like put a bomb in your head and hope it detonates come fight time. Like, oh, this dude, he's muscle bound. He just wants to stand in front of you and smash you. Like, he can't box. This ain't CrossFit. You know what I mean? Because, like, calling someone a CrossFit, he could be a CrossFit champion. That's clearly, like, an insult. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, even though he's a boxer, he'd be a good Mr. Olympia contestant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're basically saying he's, like, a meathead. So I think it might be a little bit of psychological warfare on behalf of Klitschko. And I mean, you're the older fighter. Klitschko's 41. He's still in damn good shape. Pause. But it's smart. I mean, it's smart for him to do this. And like maybe put doubts in the young champion's head. Like, oh, that's not all I'm about. Because obviously Klitschko would want this to be at a pace that he can control. You know what I mean? If Joshua's just like muscling him around and like no respect, then that's going to be harder for it, or for an age advanced fighter to deal with. I mean, you know what I mean? If he's not giving you time to think and using his strength. So maybe by planting the seed and saying, oh, you're a CrossFit champion and you're a muscle bound future CrossFit champion or whatever he's talking about, I think it could be a little bit of psychological warfare to make Joshua maybe even question himself. Because, I mean, like I said, they both have similar build. I never really looked at it. I don't think Joshua, I mean, I don't know. I know guys like at the gym and stuff, and some of them are juicing, but I could tell some of them just like they don't even care about their legs and certain things. They just want the appearance. Like, you know what I mean? Even if they can't fight or nothing, they just want to look huge and big and stuff like that. So I never really thought about that with Joshua. I think he's just naturally kind of a big dude, you know what I mean? Likes to stay in shape. And a lot of stuff he does is explosive workouts. Like I see him doing a lot of stuff like core workouts or things where like he has resistance bands and stuff like that. So I think he's just kind of a big, brolic, in shape type of dude. I don't know if I agree with Klitschko saying he's doing it because it makes him feel confident. I mean, obviously, if you're in the physical peak or like you feel you're in your best shape, of course you're going to be more confident than as opposed to like Ricky Hatton when he had his off season and had to shed 30, 40 pounds or something. So, I mean, I guess in that sense, the muscles and being like diesel and ripped up can keep you in shape. Now, the question I have as a boxing fan, moving on from what Klitschko said, my question is this, and this is why I can't count Klitschko out, because one, the experience, like I said, but also having all those muscles. One thing I do know from knowing fitness in the sport of boxing and stuff is muscles require more oxygen. Like, you know what I mean? You have to keep the blood flowing and whatnot. And sometimes if you're too muscle bound, you could fatigue. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's working you or you're working at an uncomfortable pace. And for the most part, I would say Joshua, all of his fights have been more or less his pace. Like, he's kind of dictated, especially his last fight with Eric Molina. Eric Molina did virtually nothing. Molina has power. You've seen him buckle Deontay Wilder, but he I don't know if he was jet lag. I don't know what was wrong with him, but he didn't even look like he even wanted to fight back. And you can't just stand in front of a Joshua who has the muscles that give him confidence or whatever Klitschko said and let him wail on you. That doesn't even make any sense. And that's what Molina did. He was like letting a bull, you know what I mean? You see the like movies where a bully's just like picking on a kid and the kid's not even fighting back. That's what Eric Molina looked like to me. And that's weird for a professional fighter, because I thought that had the potential to possibly be good anytime you got two guys with punching power. And Molina was looking calm, reserved at the weigh-ins, and he was sounding confident in interviews. But then when it came down to it, you know what I mean? He just delivered a goose egg. So my question again is, with those muscles and just being a big dude like that, I wonder, and being younger than Klitschko at least, I wonder if Joshua will be in a position where he's drugged into deep waters and he starts to fatigue. Because guys, I've seen a lot of guys, like, even, here's another prospect, and I know we can't really say Joshua's a prospect because he has a belt, but you watch Jason Quigley, if you watch that Golden Boy fight with Glenn Tapia. Now, Quigley, I understand he hurt his hand or something, but the thing I noticed with the prospect is he was knocking out majority of his opponents, right? He had, like, let's say he had 13 wins and 10 knockouts, something like that. Then he fought Glenn Tapia, who's been knocked out on 3 separate occasions. James Kirkland, Michel Soro, and then also got knocked out by David Lemieux. And Quigley, he looked good in the first opening couple rounds, but I think he just not having the same level of experience. Even though Tapia lost some of those fights, Tapia worked his way kind of into the fight, and the scorecards I think should have been a lot closer, and Quigley didn't impress a lot of people, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of it was because energy conservation. Like, when you're fighting at someone else's pace or you get drugged into the wrong fight, you never know. And Klitschko, he has the ability and the experience to dictate with the jab and slow the tempo down of the fight. Because, I mean, I don't think you could watch. People say Klitschko's boring and stuff, but I still don't think he's a big dude, you know what I mean? He has power. Look how many knockouts he has. So I don't think you could walk through his power and just be straight. And he has a very good jab. So I really want to know what will happen if this is not a typical Joshua opponent, where he doesn't just fold and buckle and like is working behind the jab, how is he going to look? Because we just seen another puncher in another division, middleweight, Golovkin. His biggest test on paper, Daniel Jacobs, a formidable, equal size, full-fledged middleweight, or middleweight with middleweight power. He just pushed him to the distance. Now, I want to know how, I mean, Golovkin has 350 amateurs or whatever it is. Joshua has a gold medal, but I don't know if he has the same experience as Golovkin. You know what I mean? Especially at the pro level, because Golovkin has way more pro fights than him. So that's my question. I want to know how Joshua looks in the deep water, especially with someone who can punch back equivalent and has intelligence. Klitschko, it's not appealing and not exciting for everybody, his style, like the clinching and stuff like that, but it's effective. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just want to see what Klitschko can do, and if he could drag this beyond the 6th, 7th round. And if he can, and Joshua hasn't had his way or knocked Klitschko down, I wonder where Joshua's confidence would be at that point. You know what I mean? And being that big and in shape, especially if he's not conserving his energy and really trying, that's the thing with punchers sometimes. You exert a lot of energy trying to get someone out of there, and if they're still there, I mean, how are you going to look in the second half of the fight? So this is kind of like age and experience versus like the young hungry lion who has CrossFit muscles apparently. So I'm looking forward to this fight. Should be a good one. I don't know if this is going to be on Showtime or HBO. I don't think it's been announced yet. But if anybody's heard, just let me know in the comment section. And it's good. Good for the heavyweight division. Let me know what you guys think. Who wins this fight? I have a Boxing Ego first look. Has over 300,000 views on it. So thank you to everybody that tuned in, shared that video, commented. That video is doing well. And that's the tail of the tape. Make sure you guys check that out. Other than that, April 29th, let me know who wins. Make sure you like the video. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.